If you're new to my YouTube channel, please click that subscribe button and remember to click the bell icon to get notifications of all my uploads throughout the week. Hi everyone, it's Mike here. So today I'm going to be working on the mid-month mini mission for the Mission Inspiration Facebook group, link on screen at the moment. And this month the word is power. So I will display the card on screen right now, and it reads: strength and energy, take action and show what you're made of to inspire, fuel, push or drive, or maybe someone of a higher power. That got me to thinking about early forms of creation, and of course the biggest form of creation was God's creation of the earth and then God's creation of Adam. So that's going to be kind of like the focal point for my art journal page for this month. Now what you can see on screen at the moment is my large Dilutions art journal. I think this is number 4. Not really done that much in this one, but what I did do a while ago was I sat down and I stuck down loads and loads of scraps onto the pages with the intention of being able to just open the book up and not have a blank page in front of me. So this was my attempt to kind of like break a blank page when I'm a little bit kind of like stuck for inspiration or whatever. And I sat one day and just did loads and loads of pages and just randomly stuck things in, because the large Dilutions art journal is quite daunting. You've got, especially if you're going to do a double page spread, it's a massive space to fill. So being able to stick something like this in and just turn to a page that's already got a bit on is a help, particularly if you have that blank page feel, that phobia of the blank pageophobia. There must be a real proper medical name for it. I'm sure somebody will tell me if there is. But anyway, so this was one of the pages that I did, and it's got a kind of cross pattern already built into it. So you've got a central column and then you've got bits floating off to the outside, which is going to be great for adding images to. So that's what I'm going to do today. So using that inspiration that I came up with, or the thoughts about God's creation of Adam, I sat down at my computer and I put together a new digi-download kit that had those hands, the magic hands. So you've got Adam and God's finger. That's the bit from the Sistine Chapel, I think. So what I did is I included it in 2 different sizes. So you've got a smaller version that will fit 8x8 and the smaller journal sizes, so you can do one on either side. And then on the other page you've got the larger versions that will fit on the larger journals, with a bit of space in between so you can utilise. There's also I think there's 14 cherubs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 different cherubs in which you can use in the background for your art journal or for other projects. Now, just as a little aside, I sized the cherubs. This is an ATC. I sized the cherubs so that they would fit inside ATCs. Not the circles, but the ordinary size. Now these ones were slightly different because I was going to use that, but they all pretty much will fit inside an ATC. So if you wanted to create a set of standard sized ATCs, not the circle ones, but the standard size ones, these are all sized to fit perfectly. So you can create some backgrounds, cut them out and create a collection or a series of cherub themed ATCs if you want to. The third sheet has an 8x8 digipaper, which is clouds, and I've added a nice kind of canvas texture to it so that it looks like a painting on a canvas. But obviously this isn't going to fill the entire of these 2 pages, so I'll probably end up cutting this out and tearing strips off and loading those up into the background. So I've got quite a lot of cutting out to do. So I want to cut out some of these cherubs, I want to cut that background paper out, and I want to cut the hands of Adam and God out so that I can collage these onto my art journal page. So I'm going to go away and I'm going to cut out the ones that I think I'm going to use, and then I will be right back. Okay, so as you saw, I've got all my bits cut out and I've gone around all of the edges, my raw edges, with a distress marker. Yes, a distress marker. I used old paper, this one, just to go around the edges, just to get rid of those raw white cut edges. So before I go any further, I'm just going to put these to one side now that the hard work is done as far as the cutting out's concerned. So I'll just create a nice little pile and put those over there. I've got an old sheet of music and I'm going to bring my art journal back in with that cloud paper. See if I can find the page that I want to use again. That's the one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue down, I'm going to rip this up and I'm going to stick down some strips of music just to go over, add those in some of the sections here and over here, just randomly. Just because we can. Maybe add a little bit there. Take some from there. Add a little bit, maybe like so. Just add in a little bit more texture into the background. So I'm going to glue them down just using some matte medium. So all I'm going to do is just squirt some on the page, grab a brush, not going to be very exact, stick it down, go over, grab the other piece, that'll do. And then bring that down here just to fill in some of the areas. Doesn't take long, and of course it won't take very long to dry either. Shake a little bit more matte medium down there, stick that down. Really doesn't take long to do. Just adds a little bit more background, a little bit more texture, and a little bit more interest. Okay, so we've got now our clouds. So I'm going to tear those into strips and do the same thing. Add in quite a bit of matte medium. So I'm going to add some of that cloud up here, and also here, and I'll take a piece from there And that can go, let's do that the other way around. And I think what I'll do is I'll grab a piece of music and stick that there as well. Just because we can. I don't mind if it's upside down, which it probably is. Oop. I'm just going to throw in a load of matte medium all over my trousers, which is always fun. I'll keep adding just strips of that cloud. Just until most of it's gone. Just incorporate it wherever you fancy, really. And this just introduces that nice kind of bluish, cloudy texture into the background. We'll be doing a little bit more with it in a little while. I just want to add in just bits here and there. I don't mind the fact that that white's showing. Nice darker blue there. I'll add another piece up here. And then finally another little bit down there. Now this is matte medium that I've used, so there shouldn't be any kind of shine. I'll drop that into some water, grab a cloth, clean off the glue from my trousers, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we're all dry, so I'm going to start dumping some paint down on it now. Okay, so that background has now dried. As you can see, a lot of it has actually come through, so it's not disappeared completely. Helped by the fact we did rub a little bit of it off, but I am going to add a little bit more white. This time I've got a craft sponge This is from a Royal Langnickel one. An artist sponge. Royal and Langnickel. 3 in a pack. And I've just grabbed a little bit of white paint. I'm just going to smear it and then add in some more, kind of like cloud effect, if you like, fluffy cloud effect. Make sure I've got a nice spread of it on the sponge and just feed it through. I think that'll do. Put that to one side and then get that dried, and then we can start gluing some bits down. Okay, so before I actually stick anything down, I want to add some stenciling into the background. And I've dug out one of my very first ever purchases. This is the Art Is stencil from TCW, the Crafters Workshop. And I've got some Dina Wakley Elephant Grey, and I'm just going to add some of that paint onto my polyprop mat here. So I've just got to the side. I've got another one of those craft sponges, and I'm going to stencil grey paint just through. Not particularly bothered about this being legible at all. Just want some kind of scriptiness going off in that background, just to kind of break it up. So I'm probably going to need a fair bit of this grey paint, and then start adding it wherever we feel like it. Some the middle here. Like I said, it doesn't have to be legible. You can barely see it. But I like it. I like it, I like it. Just all adds to the texture. Some more down here. I don't think I've done an art journal page like this for ages, where I've actually stenciled and stuck under papers and glued and done collage. Makes a nice change. So I've kind of been, I won't say avoiding it, just not been doing a lot of it. Been exploring other ways of doing art journal pages recently. I think this one just called for a little bit extra, like that. Maybe some more up top here. A little more grey paint. Just take it over that double page spread. A little bit coming down just to join in. Just there. Yeah, I'm liking that. Maybe just another little touch down here at the bottom. And then also going to do some stamping before I start adding some more collage on. I like the fact that we've got that scripty kind of effect in the background, but I want to add some more scripty kind of effects. This time I'm going to do it with stamps. But first of all, let's get this dried off, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I have a script stamp. This is from Indigo Blue. Can't find the laminate anywhere, so I can't tell you exactly what it is called, but it's the large script one, because that's the way the script goes. I've also got my potting soil archivaling, and as you can see, I am not going to put it on a block. I'm literally just going to do that, and then uneven all over. Keep on going. And then that's it, add a little bit more in the middle. Just add a little bit more texture. So we've got the grey script, now we've got like the brown kind of script coming in as well. Just adds a nice kind of background to it, and then we can go pretty much wherever we want with that. Cool, I'm happy with that. So once again, because archival does take a little bit of a while to dry when you put it on acrylic paint, give it a blast with the heat gun, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got another stamp. This time it's the blueprint section of this stamp set called the Draftsman from Indigo Blue. So I'm going to add some of that kind of image using watering can archivaling. So again, another grey. And this time I'm going to add some of this kind of, it says blueprint, but there's some like cog effects kind of things in here as well. So a little bit steampunky. Just down there. Just to add a little bit more kind of texture into the background. Not particularly bothered about getting a perfect impression each time, but just one that's going to give us a little bit of detail into the background. Now some of this will be covered over with the collage, some of it will be covered over with some more paint that I want to add a little bit later, but just to give it a bit more detail. I'm just going to add some in there, even though it's probably going to get covered up. And one more just about there. I'm liking that. So again, just need to give it a quick blast just to make sure it's all dry, and then I'll be right back again. Okay, it's now time to start gluing in my collage bits. So I'm going to glue them down just using Diane Reevely Diary glue stick. If I've got a little piece of polyprop just here that I can use for gluing, then I'll just go around the edges, make sure I've got all the edges glued. Now because I've used waterproof ink, I could go over this with matte medium, but I don't want to just yet. I'm leaving a little bit of a gap at the sides. Then I'm going to do this one. Just add the glue. Plenty of glue on there now. try and get that one just so it comes up towards the edge, about there, about halfway up. There we go. Cool. I'm liking that. Now I can start adding in some of my little cherubs. So I shall add this one. Again, using the glue stick. I'm going to stick that one up in this corner. And this one is going to go up over here. Looking back. And then I can add my other bits. This little chappy is going to be sat down here looking upwards, leaving a little bit of a gap down the bottom. And then these two little beauties are going to go down here. So I'll just run the glue stick on the edges because they're only little wee cherubs. A bit more glue. Should do it, and stick that one about there. Cool. Okay, so I can put that to one side, and I'm going to bring back my other little polyprop that I put my paint on earlier, and just bring it back out again, the white. Add some more just onto the mat. I've got a clean sponge. I'm just going to add a little bit more white just down there, just to ground my little cherub where he is. I'm going to do the same thing for these two at this side. Just add a little bit down there. And then maybe just a little bit up there. A little bit of a cloud trail. And then just a little up here. And a tad just underneath, maybe just a little bit more there. And then I'm going to just take the edge and just obscure it a little bit. just to kind of blend it out a little bit. Just so it looks like they're coming through the clouds. Okay, let me get that dried off and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to do some hand lettering between the two fingers using a this is a small, a fine 0.7mm Posca pen. So this is a white paint pen. So I'm going to attempt to write using the paint pen. Load it back up again. And then I can follow that back down to the tip. Beef those letters up. Oh, I knew that would happen. That's just typical. Okay. Now luckily, when that happens, it's an easy get out. Just dry your area and then start again. Shouldn't be flooding. There we go. And I will go back over this with a black as well, just to outline and adding some more details. But before I do that, I need to get it dry. Okay, so it's now dry, so I'm going to attempt to go in and just add some downstroke highlights where I can, just to kind of highlight the word. Now I'm hoping that you will be able to read it. Just a little bit better. I hope you can. Perhaps I should go around the entire of it, just so you can see it. But there you go. Don't think I've missed any. A little bit there. Just when it's dry I can always go back and add a little bit more as well. So just put the lid back on and then bring that Posca pen back out again. We'll have another go. I should have done this first, shouldn't I? There we go. So again, I will give this a dry, and then because you've seen me do this bit already, I won't show you that bit, I'll just do it and then I'll come back. Okay, so I also brought in then one of the Signo white opaque rollerball pens just to colour in a little bit where it was a little bit sketchy. So I've just added a little outline around the hands to join up those fingers there. So pretty much I'm done with this page now. So I think all I need to do is just to sign it and date it. So today is the 20th. And then I think I'm going to call this mid-month mini mission inspiration, and the word was power. So I think this mid-month mini mission inspiration is complete. I'd also like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, without whose generosity and support these videos would not be possible. Thank you.